Mambo Africa. Wow, we are being cooked. Yeah, we are being cooked by the record 10-time African champion when it comes to the Women's African Cup of Nations title. He is back here. And hey, we are Spega. We are Spega, so.
We're in the over.
Yeah, no.
But I think it's only fair.
Like true North African style.
No, thank you, Arthur, boss. Thank you. I greet you guys. Thank you. Former champions now the current champion.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You are a true.
No, I know my stories. I know my stories.
You.
Yeah, so yeah, current champion now. Former champions. I have to go this week to next year. I have to take this. Anytime I come to the studio, I mean, just treat me as a champion.
The Super Falcons.
Yes, Super Falcon. I mean, they make Nigeria proud. I mean, great.
Yeah.
But you well deserved, eh?
I think some teams go to the tournament and grow up in the tournament, but this team, from the first game, you can see they have something in them, and they were well prepared, in terms of how they play, going to the finals. That's where there were some loopholes in terms of that first 20 minutes. People really surprised how they played in that first 20 minutes. But later on the second half, I think that's where they changed everything. And, credit must be given to first of all, to the coaches, technical team, the players, Yeah, so everyone that contributed one way or the other, I think they deserve, they deserve to be real champions. They played very well. From the first game of the tournament to the last game, just that blip in that 20 minutes in the finals. Yeah, but they recovered second half.
Well, this 21st edition of African Football Connect, I told you, we're being cooked here. And I think for me, as the legend is saying, when you look at this Nigerian team, you could tell from just the opening game that they were there for business. And in as much as even in the semi-final that Banyana tried, but you could see that this Nigerian team was stronger. Yes, maybe the injury to Salgado, and how after that we seem to have lost focus expectedly, but it takes nothing away that Nigeria was a very good team. Coming from 2-0 down,
yeah.
I mean, just to come back from 2-0 down.
True champions.
And do that.
And come and make sure that they crown it. Wait for the right time to finish it up. They just finish it up, Top. I mean, go back to the semi-finals. I mean, Salgado injury was, it was very sad. Even me, you can see the Falcon ladies too. They were, everyone was just, so sad. And I just wish her, quick recovery, and I mean, she's one of the best players that, in that Banyana team, and yeah, you can see really, somehow you can say it affects the team, because because most of the players that are there, the center, the defenders, and the goalkeeper, you can see, man, they saw what happened there, and it was a bad injury, but I just hope everything go well with her.
And also in that sense, from a South African perspective, I think you have got to give credit to someone like Refule Jane, who, no matter how tough that situation was, she stayed there all the time. She's actually the one who was urging other people to signal to the bench that something is wrong here. As a leader, I know now it will play in her mind a lot, and I hope she gets support. Because stuff like that is quite very, very bad for her, for having been there all the time, talking to the player, ensuring that everybody is calm around that situation. Yeah. Because you could see some of the players could not even bear watch because of the horrific nature of the injury. I think, when you have got leaders like that, people who find a difficult moment and calm everybody down, I think she played it very, very well. But I hope also for the player, that she recovers. So they released pictures of her on her feet, obviously with the help of crutches and stuff. You can see that she got proper medical support from the tournament at the hospital. Now the issue becomes what's going to happen when she gets here at home. We must all understand that the club that she plays for probably would not be able to afford proper medical support for rehabilitation. the federations, what are they going to do? The federation, I hope
Yeah,
there's a
I've
plan
heard that
around
SAFA
that. Yeah.
is saying they are going to absorb the costs.
Yeah,
Please.
they will have to do that
Yeah.
because that process of having to come back is going to be a long, arduous, and also expensive exercise. Which, if there's no one who's going to be carrying that cost, it may be a problem. But we wish a speedy recovery, and we'll be happy to see her playing football again.
Yeah. In fact, I want to stay on what is happening in Nigeria because there were some very positive responses I saw even from the Super Eagles players, and it's not every day that you get to see that happening. But I want us to listen to the coach Justin Madugu, who won this title with the Super Falcons, the record, a 10th title, especially in terms of what he's talking about, what needs to happen in terms of investment in women's football on the continent, and also what this is going to do for Nigerian women's football.
Like we they talk every time, to be candid, football, women football for Africa, it don't improve well. But like we say, it's not enough. We can still do more to make, to develop the game better. The match we will play today, like you talk, they get very good coach and they have very technical players. Everybody saw the way the game went. And it didn't just, not be say he just finished for field or he just did go well for field. Even we wait there outside, we have to make the adjustments where we need to do. Now you make as they score us, like I talked on before, when they score and we know say, now we they chase the game now, we no one give up. We must see why we get the problem where we get. What we go do so that we go fit address the problem where we get for field. When we can't make those changes now, thank God, the girls can't respond well. And as they respond now, pressure can't go back to their side and we can't get the goals where we're supposed to get. So like I said, improvement, it don't improve, but we still need more. Generally, we have to look at development from the angle of facility development, player management, and good welfare support and package for them, and try as much as possible to expose the Women League to win or attract more sponsors that will put more money into the game. And when you have more money in the game, you will be able to train these players better, expose even us as coaches. We need better education too. We also need to improve ourselves because you can't just remain at the level you are. The game is dynamic. There are new ideas coming up every time. We had self-belief and mental resilience. I keep repeating, a football match is not won until you hear the final whistle. And so we had that self-belief that we could make it, we could do it. All we needed was to try and get our acts together. If we get a goal, we knew we could come back. And that was what the girls did. In terms of officiating, I didn't have the privilege of having a second look at the incidents that you are referring to. So I wouldn't be in a proper position to be able to judge or assess the performance of the referees or the decision of the referees in that regard. There are experts that have been assigned that responsibility, and it was their duty to make those observations, which they did, and I believe so much that if those decisions were not the right decisions, they wouldn't have awarded the penalty as well as deny what the Moroccans might feel was a deserved penalty on their side.
Legend, having listened to that, and I think for me, I was touched by this. It also talks about the unity of the players, whether you're playing for the Super Falcons or you're playing for the Super Eagles, to see Super Eagles players and also government contributing to these leaders.
That's massive. That's why, in Nigeria, the only thing that keep Nigeria together, everyone united, is just football, sports generally, and, Super Falcon have brought, a lot of joy for a lot of Nigerians, both in Nigeria and overseas, everywhere they are, as far as you're in Nigeria, you have that, you want to support them, and for Chris Ekon, the captain of the senior national team, to come with that idea, just make one or two few calls. They have their group, they have their, their group, the Super Eagles group. So they spoke to everyone, just speak on how can we help, just for our side. At least every small cent can be important, and which is important for these ladies, because remember how they went to the tournament, the allowances, a lot of things, But right now, I mean, they are the one happy, and for the men national team, for Chris Ekong to come with that idea, I think, credit must be given to him. The Nigerian government too, they came back with, I mean, for the past 1 week now, Nigeria is peaceful. Everything is forgetting. No politics, nothing.
Hopefully they'll be paid. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they will be paid. They will be paid, because all eyes is on this team now, because what they have done. I mean, for a very long time. I mean, they put massive pressure on the male national team now, because remember, there's going to be a Chan tournament now. The male national team going to play the home base, and there's going to be a proper AFCON again for the May in December. So right now is a big pressure now. So they have, they set the standard high now. So others will follow. Going to the AFCON, I mean, I'm talking about the AFCON in December. The main national team need to at least get to the finals. So that's the standard is there now, and Nigeria, they love football so much. And I think the government did very well, gave them 3-bedroom flats, each one of 24 players, including the technical team, gave them $100,000.
$3-bedroom flat.
Yeah, 3-bedroom flat in Abuja. In Abuja. Wow. So I mean, it's good, I mean, there's something that this government, and Nigeria with football. Yeah, it come politics. So this government will use this opportunity now to, to stamp their authority, So, but I mean, the ladies have done very well, Yeah, the champion. They got, I mean, best goalkeeper from the team there, best player of the tournament. Good, eh? Yeah, she just signed a contract now with Brighton. In England. So most of the players there, they can stay for a very long time because they are young and they have the potential, and they're playing in their club side, and they're playing in big leagues, So that's a good thing. And there was no individual players in this tournament. Yeah. I think they play as a collective, which is very important when you go for a tournament like this.
It's going to be a very short turnaround. You must defend your title next year. We are coming for it.
No, but
we want to qualify.
The current champion now, we stay next year. Next year is, I think we have 7-8 months to go. We're still going to be there. The former champions and the current champion. Maybe we meet again. We never know. But this time it's a bigger prize. It's a bigger prize this time. I would love that. This time is going to be This time is going to be a bigger prize because going to the World Cup. Everyone wants to go to the World Cup.
And you can see even in terms of the importance in this tournament, you've got 4 players in the best 11. We've got 3 players. In fact, I just want us to listen to our captain, Ribeiro Mudau, talking about this team. In fact, because she's one of the 3 players in our team who made the best 11, but also talking about the future as well. Jermaine Siposen are not part of the team as well.
Well, obviously, what happened is one of the disruptions we encountered. Also, preparations towards the tournament. I think this is one of the tournaments that we didn't fully prepare for. But we're hoping that going forward, so much time can be taken up into account into making sure that the team prepares very well, and by the time the tournament starts, everyone is involved and ready for the big stage. Well, having 3 players being part of the final best 11 of the tournament says and it shows that we have quality players in our team. Despite getting with 4th position, we were able to get outstanding players. So that doesn't write off the team as a whole. So there's so much work to be done, but we still have good players in the team. Well, we've sent our messages to Jermaine. She knows how we feel as a team. We've had our send-off for her, and we're hoping that with the players who are going to be taking the baton from her can do so proudly and represent the nation as much as she has done.
What has been special about her campaign at this level with the team, Jermaine, that is, because I remember how she carried you in the attack with Hilda when Tembi got injured in the first tournament. What can you say just about her journey with this team?
Well, Jermaine got into the Banyana setup from an early age. She has got a lot of experience with her and also with playing abroad. So she has gained so much from the game and has also taught the players a lot. So with everyone that has been learning from her, from the type of player that she is and the type of person that she is, we've got so much to learn from her and also so much to continue with the legacy that she has started. Well, firstly, we have to qualify for the next WAFCON, which is around October against the DRC Congo. So that's the main objective for the team. So after that, then we see. But firstly, the main objective is to qualify for the next tournament. There's COSAFA coming up, so we're hoping that with the teams that are going to be assembled, the team and the nation can go in the right direction.
So I think if there's one thing that we're taking from here, including what the Deputy Minister is also saying, there were some tough words from the Deputy Minister. I'm sure you've heard, especially about the issues of patriarchy, but the issues that were happening there as well, and also listening to the situation in our camp.
Yeah, I guess society needs to change. I think, especially, well, not only in sports but everywhere. I mean, we really need to move away from this old way of doing things where, as you say, patriarchy becomes a problem. These ladies work very hard for them to be there, and they deserve everything that has been there. I will agree with the speakers with what they are saying, that we need to improve, we need to be sensitive towards these kinds of things, and I'm happy that you have got people who continuously sound this message, because it's very important. It's something that young people or young boys need to grow up with, understanding that women can play sports, women are good at sports, and if you just watch the general competition, the way WAFCON was, the standard was very, very high. Teams now, you can actually see that teams are well coached now. Gone are those days where you just see ladies running around and it's not easy to watch and that kind of thing. You can sit and really watch a women's game of football at that level and have the entertainment and satisfaction of watching football like that. At the same time, in Europe, the women's Euros was playing there. Also top quality stuff. So this is a message which we need to continuously talk about, and I'm sure we'll reach a stage where there will sort of be some sort of parity in a way. I know there's another issue of remuneration, whether the women must be paid the same as men. It's something which I think maybe
you've had Safa saying that they don't have the money to pay for these bonuses.
Yeah. But if it was Bafana, they will have money to pay for the bonuses. So it's a problem.
It's a challenge.
It's going to be an issue of saying, if it's for ladies, you don't have money, but if it's for guys, you have got money. And if you check over the last while, between the two teams, who has performed better on average, it's been Banyana. They went to the World Cup, they went to the next round. Bafana is still not to qualify for the World Cup. I know Bafana now went to the previous AFCON, went to third place, but they've not been there in a very, very long time. So those are some of the things which society needs to be open about and talk about, so that when we move, we find some sort of parity between women's sports and men's sports. But they've done us proud. For our team in particular, was not entirely happy with the return. I think we better than what we have done. I don't know if there were issues behind the scenes. I mean, I'll carefully listen to.
Apparently, lots of issues.
Yeah,
I understand that whilst we were still focusing on what was happening before the tournament started, there was even an issue on the eve of the last game, where apparently the players almost didn't even get to the field because there were issues around. There was disagreement with SAFA around if they win the third and fourth place. Remember, that was going to be 6.1 million. They ended up getting 5.1 million. I'm not sure if it's true. Some of the things I'm hearing, that the players wanted half of that amount, and then there were issues. So just low. I also want to move to the issue of the coach, and because when the coach arrived, she was really not happy around this question about her contract.
I'm not going to comment. I've been taken out of context on numerous occasions, and I think it's best that I don't comment on that, because already all over the media, what people are writing is not true. Certain things is not true. So when people write, they must get the facts right, first of all. They don't get the facts right and they write the wrong thing. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm saying no comment, purely on the fact that I don't want to be misquoted, because I've been badly misquoted during this tournament. Any team that goes to the tournament obviously wants to win it. We were no different. I think we were centimeters away of qualifying for the semi-final, and then they won it right at the end. A lot of teams came there. Teams that we played last year were obviously better. A lot of teams are not, like I said in the past, you can't underestimate anyone anymore, which we did not. As the defending champions, we knew that every game we were going to play was going to be a cup final, and it was that. And I think, we gave as best as we could. And sometimes when a team just does something better than you have to acknowledge that as well. But that is some of the things that you learn in how to manage, especially against Nigeria, the latter minutes. It's unfortunate that the injury came at the time, and if you saw the injury and what it looked like, I think emotionally it affected a lot of the players. We tried to calm them down, but that's not something you can do in 2-3 minutes. And at the end, they were not focused, or shall I say that emotionally affected them. But as I said, if we had scored that goal, that sort of ball took very long to trickle over the line, we could have been speaking different now. So it's those small little margins, I think in the final third, better decision making at times would have got us in on goal a few times, and we put a lot of pressure on us by not making better decisions in the final third. I think maybe a little more time, obviously. That would have also have helped if we had a little more time to work on certain things, because before you know it, the tournament is upon you. I think in 2018 and 2022, we had a little bit more time where we could work with the team, where we could try do different things, and we didn't have that extra time where we could have done that. So those are something that we're going to take forward, because from every tournament you obviously learn. Also, we had a squad of 22, and I think with the Ghana game, we had 4 players sitting in the stands injured that could have made a huge impact in that game. But we just didn't play as well as we know we could.
Squad of 22, so
yeah.
We had to have maybe, what would have been a decent squad to take then?
Look, CAF gave us the opportunity to take, that you would be able to take bigger squads, but we took a squad of 22 for various reasons, which I'm not going to say now, but we took that squad, and that's why we selected the players we selected, to make sure that we had a lot of options, that we had a lot of depth, which we did have. And I think injuries is part of the tournament, but some of the injuries really cut off our options in terms of players that can play in a lot of positions. We also took some young players with us, because we also have to make sure that we prepare players for the future like we've always done, and I think that for us was a big plus.
Well, Zizo, so the coach is getting annoyed, as you can hear there, that she's being misquoted. And I think this stems from the fact that people saying she doesn't have a contract. And that is what she seems to be disputing, but not directly, because she doesn't want to, because she feels that she's going to be misquoted. And from how I understand it, she does have a contract, but the contract is on a month-to-month basis. And I think to some that amounts to there is no contract. And so now it's going to be interesting, because there are these reports now that she's been offered a contract, and it's going to be interesting what is the way forward here.
Yeah, I think that's an issue of semantics, really. I mean, in a normal, I'm not a HR aspect here, but in a normal situation, you need to have a 1-year contract, or 2-year contract, or 3-year contract.
100%.
I don't think even labor laws really will agree with people working on a month-to-month contract. I mean, how do you plan your life on a month-to-month contract?
Not at this level.
The employer can come and say, no, okay, that's it, Hambakaya, and then what's going to happen? So we need to get to a situation where she's the Banyana coach going forward, and then she has got a year's contract or 2 years contract. And then we know that we are sticking with her up until the next World Cup or whatever the case may be. The stuff that is being said now really is just an unprofessional thing. But as we have said it there so many times, stuff like that with SAFA really are not surprising, because, when it comes to professionalism, our federation is not one of the best. They need to sort it out, because it can't go on like this. And I'm sure the coach maybe does not want to rock the boat, because she realizes that she's close to negotiating. But I also feel that the coach maybe now with the way that she has done on the continent and as Banyana coach, she has really earned a lot of respect on the continent. I'm sure she can go and coach anywhere on the continent now. There has been people who are saying maybe she has overstayed a welcome. She has been there for too long. I don't know. But that will be something which obviously, being from what the players are saying, are the players happy with the coach? Is the relationship still good between the coach and the employers and that kind of thing? So I guess there will be a lot of things happening between now or the next few weeks or months as to what is actually going to happen with the future. But she has done very well for the national team. Maybe she continue or she doesn't continue. I really don't know. It's a tough one, yeah.
Going to be very interesting how this one pans out. Well, that is the WAFCON tournament, record 10-time African champion once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So congratulating again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
We bow.
Thank you.
We bow.
The current champion. There's a former champion and the current champion.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Current champion now. You guys deal with your coaches issue.
You are sorted.
We're thinking about how to go to
You're preparing for Morocco.
Okay. No comment. Is a comment enough in general? Yeah. Well, we move from WAFCON to Chan tournament. So I watched Bafana under the stewardship of coach Mulefintseki playing against Angola. Okay, maybe the first team that played, the first half, okay. But the second half team.
So what did you find?
Yeah, no. I could see it's clear patterns of play. You can see the experience. You can also see the hunger. Someone was saying to me that no, these guys don't have salaries.
They're fighting for something, eh?
Yeah. So you can see where the hunger is coming from, but also for me the experience. I mean the goal that they scored. It was coming from Terence Mashiko on the left. Okay, there are players who have got salaries like the Sundowns players.
But mostly don't have.
Mostly don't have. I mean, I think they've got about 12 players
out of contract
who are unattached.
Yeah.
But I can already tell you that even those who are unattached, there are PSL teams who have been coming even to the training session. There were also at least 2 teams that were even watching them. So I think some of the players already do have clubs now. It's just a matter of an agreement between them and stuff like that. Okay, can you allow them to just go to the WAFCON, in fact to the Chan first and then they will come back. But I think also looking at the opposition, I mean Angola is a strong team. They beat us 3-0, remember, in the final. Was it 3-0 or 5-0?
In the now recently in the COSAFA?
In the COSAFA.
No, 3-0.
It was 3-0, yeah. They beat us 3-0 in that COSAFA final. But today, in fact, in this game that I watched, in this preparation match, you could see that this is a decent team. So if you can't remember how is the Chan lined up, as you can see there on the screen in terms of the groups. Group A, Morocco, Kenya, DR Congo, Angola, and Zambia. And then in Group B, you've got Tanzania, Mauritania, Burkina Faso, Madagascar, and Central Africa. And in our group, then you've got Algeria, Bafana, Guinea, Conakry, and Niger, as well as Uganda, the other hosts as well.
Bafana will be top of that one.
Very interesting. Nigeria has got Senegal, they've got Congo, and they've got Sudan.
It's a tough group.
Very tough group. And you know why it's a tough group? Because Senegal has got a strong league. They're good clubs. Sudan, Al Merrikh, and yes. And then you also have Nigeria and Congo in that group. They are good teams. In fact, on that note, before we go there, let's go to the coach of Sudan. Remember him? Kwesi Appiah. Yes, but I'm interested, Coach, as we are closing, because coming up next for you is the Chan tournament, and you've qualified for that. You are there in Group D. You've got Congo, you've got Nigeria, you also have Senegal. A group of death there?
Yeah, it's a group of death. I mean, all the teams there are really, really top class teams. And I keep saying, any competition that you go, if you want to be the best, you need to make sure you clear everything on the road. It's not going to be easy because they are also coming to clear you out. So it's a matter of preparing yourself very well, and then preparing yourself for the competition. Tell yourself, this is what I want to achieve in this competition. And I believe you can do it.
But if my memory serves me well, in terms of what is going to happen, you are the strongest in this group because judging by your squad makeup is not going to be very different from your usual squad.
In actual fact, most of the players are playing local, except those who are playing in Libya.
Yes.
So I'll have to find some new ones and put them in. So as you said, it's not going to be that difficult compared to where you need to be selecting players afresh.
And I can imagine, because also in other countries you have the senior national team A squad coach is different to the Chan one, but I think you've been on this arrangement from before, even during the time when you were in Ghana, or was it Maxwell Konrad who was coaching the Chan team, or you were working together?
No, the head coach is normally separate. The senior team will be separate, and then the Chan coach.
Okay.
So
but you opted to do different here.
Because of Sudan's situation at the moment, because of the war there, they have no league, and it's difficult to select players. But since the players that I know, the same players are going to compete at the Chan level, I had no choice than to stick with the Chan competition as well.
So you're using this Chan maybe also to prepare thoroughly for the World Cup qualifiers in September?
Yeah, automatically we should finish by the end of August.
Yes.
So once we finish, we're going straight to prepare for the World Cup. So it's a good situation.
So you will be well prepared, and I think this puts you in a very good position to qualify for this World Cup.
I hope so, because I'm actually not foreseeing a situation where Benji will come over. I also need my players. Because when there's that situation where Hila is taking his players and Merrick is also taking their players, then it becomes, there's a gap that comes in there. But if there are no such situations, then automatically I'll be with them, and then only the Libya players will join them, and then we can continue our preparations.
So they were playing in Mauritania. Are they coming back home now? Is the league coming back home?
That is what they intend doing, because Sudan is playing 8-team competition, and I know Hila and America have taken part in that competition. So they will be playing in Sudan to choose who will represent the nation in Africa.
Well, I think there's one point that Coach Kwesi Appiah is making here.
Yeah.
This thing that we're talking about. And remember who was coaching there previously.
Yeah.
The former S-Vita coach and
Ibenge.
Florent Ibenge, Al Hilal and Al Merrick as well. You are in trouble.
I mean, that group it's a serious group, because if you see the leagues in that country, because we're talking about the home-based players, the ones that plays on their local league, and I just feel like the Senegalese league is very strong, and the Sudanese league mostly is very strong because it's made of 2 teams. Probably majority of the players will come from that 2 teams, and they have that understanding. So that group, and Congo, you cannot take away. Congo always tough team to play, and of course with Nigeria too. That's why I say the Super Falcon really puts the main team in a big tight corner, because they just win a tournament now, fresh from a tournament. They won the WAFCON now, and they are going for a chance now. So they have to at least get somewhere, for them to be recognized too.
But here's so I think also besides just going with the history of the countries, it's also about which league is stronger, because Chan is only using domestic players.
Yes,
So it's going to be interesting. It could be give you a picture of which are the strongest leagues on the continent.
You know, for the longest time, for the first time in a long time, I'm actually looking forward to this tournament. It's more structured now.
Yes.
Back in the day, it was all over the place. There was not proper organization. Now it's more structured. It will be played in a proper tournament form, which will make it for nice viewing. You can see CAF are taking this thing serious. Professionalizing our game is very important. Most of these players are coming from good clubs, competitive leagues, which means the talent will be something else. I'm really looking forward to these matches. The one thing I can say is to these sleepy PSL teams, send scouts there. Because you sit here, talent is there. You're going to find that European teams are there. They're going to take. And most of those players that you can find in this chan are not too expensive. You can find players that can come on a cheap. They stay here. If you're lucky, you find the gems, you send to Europe with big money. So our clubs must really take this thing serious. Go there and go look for talent there. Because there'll be a lot of very good footballers there.
I mean, the likes of West Busuma, we see him now at Tottenham.
Yeah.
He was scouted in this Chan tournament. Asin Kamara, we see, I mean, he was just with, in the recent tournament that was in Algeria with Senegal, he was scouted there as well. And we see him there, he's at Monaco now. We see a number of players, the Petsin Dakas, some top players who've been there before.
And also, the good ones, the truly good ones, will be at AFCON.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is really why this tournament is so important.
Yes, and I think to what you are saying, when I look at the PSL transfer window, it's only closing in September. Mid-September. You are impressed with a player here, there's still enough time to sign him now.
Yeah, true.
And even register him if you are playing in the CAF Confed or in the CAF Champions League. And Sundowns used to scout this tournament religiously.
Now they're busy.
They're on transfer room now.
No, I mean, it's going to be a nice tournament, and you give advantage for the home-based players, for them, because, you have a great tournament in terms of the AFCON, which is in December. And, you always going to have one or two good players that come out, raise their hands up, and the coaches will see and say, okay, no, we can add this, into the first team, so-called first team, in terms of, the AFCON that is coming in December. So, yeah, this is a major tournament for the home-based players to really do well,
And it's important also for the players to embrace it and, go there shy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As you're talking from a South African perspective, there are a lot of guys there who don't have clubs. If you do well, I mean, can you imagine if a player leaves South Africa, don't have a club, and then suddenly he's going to Belgium? It will be a fantastic
Actually,
story.
let's hear from Kigon Dolly, because we're talking about that. Now, this is a very interesting point of Kick and Dolly, because one of the things that they are also saying, as you can hear there, is how this issue in South Africa, once you reach 30, I mean, I listen to how people talk about Percy Tau sometimes. It's like they're talking about a 34-year-old, 34-year-old, 35-year-old. The guy is just 31. Kick and Dolly is just 32. I mean, and I don't know, is it a case in South Africa to be over 30?
Some of the teams, they just look at it like in a way, in terms of, because maybe you start soccer, your limelight in terms of when you start become a superstar, it's too earlier, because maybe, like, for instance, maybe you're 24, 25, you're already like a jam in the country. And now when you get over 30, people have seen you enough and say, oh no, it's over 30 now. I just think it's something teams need to control, depends on the team. I used to have a coach like Gordon Egerson. He'll actually like players over 30. Duku, Chinene, Masheko, Nombete. I mean, we over all the whole team. We're over 30. All the whole team.
But that is the team that almost won the league.
Yes. We won the league in terms of, if it's not extra time. Because you remember we played against Maritzburg United. We won 1-0. And Golden Arrows are still playing against Pirates. And it was 90 minutes plus. They start scoring. Because we already finished our game. And Golden Arrows were winning 2-1. Before Benny...
What are you trying to say?
No, I'm just saying that. Technically,
yes,
the league was finished, man. I don't know where that 9 minute extra came from. So, going back to the point of Gordon Egerson, as a coach, some preference, some coaches prefer, old experience. They call it experience. They don't say old players. They just say experienced players. And as a goalkeeper too, when you start your goalkeeping, if you are not over 30, they don't see you as experienced goalkeeper. I mean, for South Africa, when you are just over 30, they feel like you can't run, you can't do this.
Is this for footballing reasons? Is this about footballing reasons, or some clubs trying to avoid getting experienced players who are on high packages because they just want these youngsters? Because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it may be a combination of both, because some experienced players, if you structure deals properly, you may not have to pay an arm and a leg. You can advance the issue of the age. That, if you are 30 or you're 31, you can't earn like you were earning as if you're 25. But also you are right, they may not want to get senior players or older players because they don't want to pay. You can get a DDC kit with a lot of potential and pay them 15,000 instead of paying 80,000 or 90,000 or even 100,000 or more for a guy who's 31. So,
but you will get relegated
because you don't want to pay.
I look at the situation of Cape Town City.
Yeah.
I remember when they were even playing their first playoff match, I was like, Cape Town City, all these kids. In fact, as soon as they went down to the playoffs, they released their experienced players.
Yes.
And I was like, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
And then look now, where they are.
The kids can take you, they can take you 4 or 5 games in the
consistently
season.
they
Consistently, you need, no matter how the team is, you need experienced players, over 50% in your team, to guide off the pitch, to see play. Imagine you have a player like Keegan Dolly that's plays in Europe, playing Bafana, highest,
We saw what it did at TS Galaxy last season.
We came to TS Galaxy, we finished the highest position. 5th position for a very long time. He added, and his quality off the field and on the pitch was top. And he's a top professional. So apart from him, we have the likes of Bennett Parker, Vuyo Mary, So you need this experience in your team.
They carry the dressing room for you.
That's the most important thing. When you have a team, it's not going to the pitch and play every day. Sometimes you need to control the dressing room, which is very important.
Because the young players look up to them. There are small things that happens behind the scenes when nobody's watching. For like a township kids maybe, what car the guy drives, what clothes does he wear, how early does he come for training, how long does he stays behind training, how he plays on the pitch, how he speaks. Those things.
Typical example is when we came second with Gordon Egerson. Chabango was top player. Was young. He was, all over the whole place. But we have the people like Max Sibaya, Goodman Mazibuku, Wood God Igerson. We tell Tutulupa, we say, okay, this is Larato Chabango. He's Larato Chabango. He can do up the weekends, come from Monday to Wednesday, is Larato Chabango. But weekend, he's man of the match. So what do you do now? So you have the players that can speak to him. Because sometimes, not the coach, every time you go and speak to the players, the younger players, you need the senior players to go there because they have achieved everything. Yeah. So, I just think you need experience in anything.
But I was even looking at Amazulu. They released 17 players. 17 players. A lot of experienced players in that 17.
Yeah.
And including some players who are still even not even 25.
Yeah.
I mean, Rowan Human, Ethan Brooks.
Yeah.
And I see these boys there in this Chan team. And I see Amazulu announcing new players. I was like, no, there's going to be a problem there because they have not replaced that experience, and even some of the experienced players that they're bringing in, and I'm like, compared to what you've released, and I then listened to what one of the assistant coaches was saying about the lack of experience, and I'm like, you can see when there's going to be problems.
Yeah, true.
No, there's two. Yeah, I mean, you must find the right balance. Nothing beats experience, unfortunately.
Yeah,
we all know that. So sometimes clubs takes very, very weird decisions, and sometimes also coaches, when they're stuck on something, you can't change their minds. And, maybe sometimes they can get away with the fact of saying that they know something which we don't know. I don't know. But experience goes a long way.
And talking of experience, it's a pity Zimbabwe has not qualified for this tournament because if they had qualified, Billiard,
Musona,
I mean, they've got a lot of players who've returned back there. Zuvugamanja is back there now. The Rosike is also back there now. And now, even Knowledge Musona is back there at home. I think there's something happening in that league, in that Zimbabwean.
Yeah, in that club.
Premier Soccer League, yes.
A lot of money, the owners there. I hope they sustain it. We don't want another Anzima Kashkala story. Just come and buy everybody, and then 2-3 seasons you are no longer existing, or it falls apart. But it's good that some of these guys, they flourish, they leave the country, go and flourish elsewhere, make lots of money, and then come back and plow back to the country. I think it's very good. Young people in Zimbabwe will have a reference point.
Sure.
They'll look at Musona, how he has transformed his life, and they'll want to be like him. Society, we need good role models.
Sure.
And I hope they do that. It will go a long way because, as you know, over the years, Zimbabwe has produced fantastic footballers, and that must happen everywhere.
Sure.
So I guess it's all about also Africa, in as much as want to export talent, but also having stronger leagues.
That I mean, as you say earlier, if Zimbabwe could be in this Chan tournament, could have been a stronger team there. But at the end of the day, like Musona, he have done everything. I mean, he has played all over the best league in the world, and he have traveled all over. And now it's time to give back to Zimbabwe. Going back home, but he still need to contribute because that team there, they spend a lot of money to get him, and they want to win.
And
games.
He's got all the money from Saudi.
So I just feel like it's a good team, coming back home. Benny did that too, with South African League, So I think sometimes you just need to come and just impart your knowledge on the youth and the younger ones and let them know how it's done,
And it's important also that when they finish, those who have got an appetite for coaching must stay and coach.
True. But first of all, do their badges. Our career, you have to go through the badge. We don't want you to come because you're a former player. You don't have badges. No, you must have badges.
And talking of those badges, I mean, in this Chan tournament, it's good to see Dennis Onyango. He's been brought in. You can see now he's really preparing for the next phase. And you can see that he's valued. And fortunately for him, he's valued at Clarkop, and also he's valued even there. He's going to be part of the the technical team in this challenge?
Yeah, I mean, he has contributed a lot, man. He's one of the best goalkeepers in African continent, and he has done so well. Played the Champions League. I mean, he has played everything. At times for him, but I just think it's time now to contribute to the Uganda team. I spoke to him, when he was back home. That time after the Club World Cup,
yes.
He was there.
So and he was already assistant.
Yeah. Even training with them, he was teaching them one or two things,
Okay.
and which is very good, which is very good now. But he's back to South Africa now, pre-season. But I think he's gonna help them one way or the other in
yes,
the
apparently he's injured, so so Sundowns is allow him to go, him to go back and work with them. But Masinde, we're going to cook you. We're going to cook you there.
And also, it's nice to see that there can be a discussion between the federation and the club.
Yes.
But when a situation like that presents itself, if it's not a bad injury, he can do rehabilitation there, or whatever he needs to do while contributing to start preparing for the next phase of his life. So I think it's very good. Sometimes you'll find clubs saying, "No, they can't go out," which is not necessary.
Sure.
True.
It's good that they've come to that kind of
understand.
Yeah. Lastly, on Chen, I think from a South African point of view, our strong interest doesn't start just with Bafana. It starts with Benny McCarthy because he's leading that Chan team. And this weekend, they play against the DR Congo in the opening game. And they've got a very interesting group. There's Morocco there, there's DRC, there's Angola, and there's Zambia.
Sure.
And one difficult part for Kenya is that these are all countries with strong leagues.
Angolan league is very strong.
You know that you know the clubs in Morocco. You know the clubs in DRC. I mean, TP Mazembe, AS Vita, DC Motema Pembe. I mean, there's just in Angola. I mean, I was saying Angola today, a very strong team.
Very.
That they've got there. Zambia, Zambia, one of the strongest here in our region. I think this is a good test for Coach Benny, especially since they are more like using a similar team for the AFCON qualifiers and World Cup qualifiers, and also here.
It's good for him, and now he can know properly. He can know his team. He can see where he need to add a few reinforcements from overseas. If the home base are good, I mean, what you don't need to get overseas players if the home base are very good. And I think with Benny McCarthy there and with this tournament, I think he really want to stamp his authority. He really want to stamp authority in terms of on the pitch, to know who and who can stand when the real qualifiers start and the real tournament. So this is a big opportunity for the home base players to raise their hand up and give him that headache. Sometimes you need to give the coaches headache so that they can, when they want to make the list, they can say, okay, let's leave that. He's playing in Norway. He's playing. We have a better player that can, contribute in that position. So, and Benny McCarthy is experienced enough to know what he need to do in this tournament and to achieve. And don't forget, Munib Joseph as a goalkeeper coach is there too. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to him, to get more impact in terms of the local goalkeepers there, because we have a lot of Kenyan goalkeepers in the PSA here.
Yes.
So it's going to be a good thing for both of them.
I saw there's a video.
Goalkeepers Union.
I see there was a video where the president visited them at training to give them their marching orders, which is very good. But also on Benny, given the tentative nature of how he has started there, the results have not really been. The performances
and also apparently there are even issues off the field.
So I have a sense that maybe a majority of Kenyans are not quite convinced. This can be a tournament where he can really win the public over.
100%.
If they go as far as they can. I don't think they'll win it, but getting out of the group and really, playing well, winning hearts. There's no thing these days people who win hearts, so it's very important that he sort of endear himself to the public, because you have a sense that to a large extent there's still the jury is still out for him as a national team coach for them. But we wish him well. He's one of our own.
Well, from Chan tournament, and now we come back to the new season that is about to kick off here at home. in the Premier Soccer League, focusing in the Premier Division. As you know, that the National First Division will only start later in the new month of August. But yeah, well, look, I was still not sure about the kickoff of the NFD because of the case in the Eastern Cape next week. But now there's also uncertainty around the kickoff of this new season on the Premier Division side. And I think for me, this case is going to be a very interesting case. When I say so already, the issue of Cape Town.
What is happening there? Because I know you've been following this story very closely.
This case, you see, I've followed the rulings of Advocate Nazir Kasim very closely. He never misses, But I just feel that with this one, yesterday I thought I understand this case, but I spoke to some few legal experts, and in terms of what they are saying this is not a clear cut case. This one, and I'm saying it's not a clear cut case because the PSL prosecutor, that is the PSL disciplinary committee, this case was put to them and they declined to prosecute, with the reasons that they provided. They declined to prosecute because the case is about
Marumo Gallants.
Yeah, Marumo Gallants, Mbambaniso.
Yeah.
Yes. So Mbambaniso is a Marumo Gallants player. Marumo Gallants sell a status to Leruma United.
Yeah.
Right? And then what happens is Mbambaniso doesn't move to Leruma.
Stay with Gallants.
Stays with Gallants. Gallants buys the status of Swallows. Right? And then
He moves.
He moves. No, he remains with Gallants.
He remains with Gallants.
Yes, he
Not
moved
even moved to
he moved to
Lurumo.
the new status of Swallows. So there was no movement. In this case, there's supposed to have been a clearance from Leruma.
Oh yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Okay.
So there's this issue now, and then one of the legal experts I was talking to has got a problem with this in this order, the part where Advocate Kasim is saying, whilst I conclude that there should be a prosecution, I do not prejudge as to whether there is misconduct of the nature contemplated in Rule 58.1, warranting the sanction identified therein. So Rule 58.1 points to protests and also what must happen after these protests as well. Even though he went on further to say, accordingly, the appeal of Cape Town City succeeds and the relief sought in this case, that the relief sought that this matter should go back to the PSL DC, and the DC should prosecute and based on issue of ineligibility as well. But there's another critical part in this case. There's another critical part, and this part points to other clubs in the two divisions, in the Premiership division and also in the NFD, who have similar players to Mbambaniso, resulting from this sale. And I am not going to mention some of these clubs, but one of the clubs is in the top 8, is playing this weekend in the top 8. Has got a player who's also affected in the same way. There's another NFD club as well, but Marumo Gallants had 13 of these players. 13. And you then have also in the NFD, I think Black Leopards had 2 of these players in the NFD. Durban City had 1, Highbury had 1, and Kruger United had 1. And the interesting part is that there were cases that were dismissed by the same ruling, or in a similar case, but the cases of Cape Town Spurs was dismissed, but the case of Leruma was dismissed, and it was even more scathing. In fact, if we can read that line there, what he's saying about Leruma, and this ruling was scathing. In my view, it comes to this arbitration with dirty hands, and its claim is in any event frivolous and without merit. It's referring to Leruma. Because Leruma, and I don't know what was their interest, they were also trying to
find a way.
Yes. But I think now all eyes are on this one. So you can hear that this one is not a straightforward one.
No.
But as things stand, because the PSL had declined to prosecute, but now they have no choice.
Yeah, they'll have to do it now.
They have to do it now. But now, in your knowledge and with your experience, does this stop Cape Town City from interdicting the kickoff of the season?
I think that's the next move John is going to do. Because now, what if Marumo start playing matches, 2, 3, 4 matches? Well, this thing is going on. What's going to happen to the clubs that played Marumo, who are not affected by all this mess? So I think the next move John is going to make is to interdict the start of the season, and that will have serious repercussions because you must remember the season is short because of WAFCON. As is, you can't afford to waste any more time. So it's what do they say in English? It's a mess of epic proportions.
Papi is my trainer. They're supposed to play this weekend.
No, we're playing this weekend.
You're playing this weekend?
We're playing MTN8 this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, it's playing.
Okay.
So the league, I don't know.
Everything's...
As things stand, you're playing.
Yeah. But
until
also,
further notice.
Also, I just feel, I think going forward, we need to have a better way of how we deal with these disputes.
Yeah.
Because really, every season we have got this stuff. It's even worse or murky at the lower division.
But I think this is the third case City is pursuing. Yeah. Because the Super Sport one they lost. I think there was another one after that, and now with this one. I think the desperation from them. Do you think the desperation comes from possibility or not just possibility? If they go down,
they're going to lose sponsors. They're going to lose a lot of money.
Sponsors.
Sponsors, yeah.
Yes.
Because you must remember, by their nature, sponsorships. There's always a clause that if you get relegated, they terminate.
Yes.
So you are going to lose a lot of money. I know John is a wealthy guy, but still, he can't afford to do this. And also, he knows that when you go down, it's not easy to come back.
It's not easy to come back.
Because most clubs will tell you, when you go down, also it's steep to pay PSL salaries in the NFD.
Yeah.
And also, if you pay PSL salaries in the NFD, you are not guaranteed that you will be promoted.
So is it a matter of rather let the house burn?
The man is going down not going down without a fight. But also, I mean, if you really come to think of it, if
he's testing the rules, and
if the laws of the country allows him to keep on fighting, why not? I mean, it's bad for the season, but it is what it is. It is what it is, really. It's not good for the league.
What is happening?
No, it's not good for the league at all.
But also, if there were issues that were not done correctly, let there be a test. But
and also,
I'm interested where all of a sudden this information is coming from. Is there third heads?
Were they sitting on it, waiting for something to go wrong? I really
yes.
And also, I mean, I don't know if the PSL why doesn't the PSL maybe have somebody who can check these things?
Exactly,
because
to
tell you, hey, TS Galaxy, this man is not properly. No, I'm just giving an example. To say, Captain City.
I've got an issue with registrations. So that
we need to manage them.
Who is dealing with registrations? Why are we having all? I mean, I've just counted to you the number of clubs that are involved.
So imagine every other club now come with this.
Yeah, or imagine if almost all the clubs in the league had a player from Marumo. What was going to happen?
Yeah, true.
And this all goes back to the status sales, because it was the issue of the status.
Yes.
And also this thing of someone buys the status today and already is buying his or her way back into the league. And you see?
It's a problem. I think the common denominator in this whole thing is selling of buying and selling of status.
Yeah.
If we nip that one in the bud, we'll probably have lesser problems than we're having now.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we move. Obviously, we've got the kickoff of the MTN8 this weekend. And in that kickoff, I think the story also is around Sundowns. Will they have Lucas Ribeiro? I mean, I think we all knew that the way he was performing in that FIFA Club World Cup, something had to happen.
No, something had to happen. The whole players did very well, but he was the outstanding player at Sundowns in that team, So, the teams need to test Sundowns, test the water there. You can see, and he depends on him if you want to stay at Sundowns or you need to go. So, but you don't need to force a move, because he's been looked after very well at Sundowns. But for his own progress, he's a top player. He deserves, bigger and bigger league in terms of, what I mean, bigger league. And you always want to play in Brazil. But even not for Brazil, there's teams like in England, in France, he can play, in Italy, because what he did in that tournament, I think, outstanding.
So I know it's a story that you've been following closely, this one. It doesn't look like he's going to kick off this season.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he will be here this season. I think Sundowns needs to cash in, because if he stayed for another season, the value may go down. We don't know how he's going to play this coming season. Find the right club, find the right deal, let the guy go.
And one lesser problem for that team.
And this is the interesting part.
I saw all the fans are saying,
no, he must go.
No, he must go.
But also, even if you look at the way Sundowns are playing now, if he go, I don't really think that will be much of a problem.
I know there's going to be a problem. No,
if anything, it brings Jaden Adams into the question more and more, to play in that role that he was playing. Because I don't think going forward, Mushishi will have that kind of influence on the team because of age and stuff.
I've seen Sundowns for a very long time. I've seen them like top players, but he is one special player that came into that team and fitting in everything. Individually, he can just change the game. Collectively, if the team is doing well, you have Renas, you have him, you have Peter. It's a disaster. There's a time they were giving people 4 or 5. They started with 4. Later went to 5, and they say no. Let's go back to 3. So now with that situation, he's going. Everybody say, thank God. Let him move. We support him. Let him go. At least before Sundowns get under Ribeiro again, at least we, you get some point from Sundowns.
So I think for me, when I look at this Ribeiro situation, Sundowns is not short of strikers and attackers, and I think Sundowns will even take this money and go and get even another top in fact, the way Sundowns is operating, you could find that already by now. They've lined up options.
No, Sundowns, they have, the scouts in Sundowns, they're very, they're very hands-on in terms of what they do. In advance, before all this situation coming about Ribeiro, they already know who they want to pick and all this stuff. But apart from that, Ribeiro, apart from the strikers, we have Renas, you have Peter. The midfielders, they do contribute at Sundowns too. So goals come from everywhere at Sundowns. Sundowns can start the league without Ribeiro, and they're still going to be in front. But what he had in that team as an individual player, that is massive. It's going to be a small, not like massive hole, but clubs will be happy for him to at least let him progress, let him go to other teams so I can reduce the tension from Sundowns. Because other team playing against Sundowns, you need to analyze Ribeiro. You need to analyze Allende. You need to. There's a lot of people. So as one problem is out, now you can focus on the other ones now.
The one thing people are not talking about is Lebo Mutiba. Lebo Mutiba is like a new signing.
He's there.
Yes, he's there. He has only played Club World Cup and
he's fit and training now.
Yes. You remember he played in Champions League final?
Yes.
So he has been playing since then.
And I think at the FIFA Club World Cup, That's when most people started to see the value of having Lebo Motiba in terms of what he brings to this team.
And all that kind of
You
thing.
can see he plays in Europe, and they just added another player again from Stellenbosch. I don't know.
And he wants to go to the AFCON.
So in that left back now you have 5 Bafana internationals or 4.
Hey!
So one need to be converted to centre back now.
But Bazadin can play centre back.
No, you can't play centre back. You want him to be effective.
Left-
you have to play left.
Motiba has played in the midfield.
In the midfield, yeah. You can.
But
Lunga-
Coach Hugo has always been clear that
He's a left
Motiba, if he is not playing, he will not play. In fact, he will not play Motiba in any other position. He plays him as a left back.
Yeah. That's another issue, eh?
So now it goes back to, and it's not something that we're wishing for, but we saw Lunga was top. So if Lunga is playing and Basadien and Motiba are not playing,
But you see, Lunga, the other
what
thing
happens to
again,
Bafana?
Bafana. But the other thing, you can convert Lunga to centre back for playing wise if they play three at the back. Sometimes you cannot have the ball against them. So they're definitely going to have the ball. So they can, mix their play. They can play, Lunga, they
Play a
Basadien.
back three.
They can play
When
back
you play a
because
back three,
they're always going to have the
leading.
ball. Except when they start playing Champions League. When you have superior teams like them, the same standard, that's where going to be a problem because they're going to explore that space.
So
but for-
what I'm saying, at least they must consider, because I think one thing they've done well is to release a lot of players in this window, and they didn't sign a lot.
Yeah.
But the window is still
early.
it's long, and
Yeah.
But I really feel that they need to release at least one left back there.
But
There's still one there.
There's still Musona.
There's a lot there.
a lot of- I mean, that left back position.
And
is a
also,
lot of
I think
players.
I saw even with this Chan team there, you look at the level of players from Sundowns and and players who
Malebo
went to
Ngwe is
Sundowns
there.
as Bafana players,
Yes.
and then they are packed there at Sundowns. I think they really need to think for the nation,
True. Because AFCON is close here. It's close, around
because
the corner.
it's not good that players go there as Bafana players.
And they don't play again. Imagine
then they don't
Basadine
play.
don't
Yes.
play at Sundance. I mean,
Yeah,
he's a top. He has everything.
Yeah.
That set piece situation is massive. At Stellenbosch, he is one of their okay. I mean, he is one of their best players.
yeah.
I've seen.
But what's happening to Sugar? Ahmed, not Sugar. Saila Mudau.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm told he's not been training or anything, something like this. There's been interest in Sailor for a while now. It may also be that issue of maybe he feels he needs a bigger challenge. And also, I think sometimes players understand the value of moving and going to make more money.
Yes.
There may be a better offer waiting for him somewhere. I hope they sort it out quickly. Because the last thing you need is to start a season with stories flying all over the place.
Yeah, because apparently he's not been back. He's not at training, and I think there was an offer for him somewhere that was not taken up, and I think now he's due a new contract. I think he's in the last year of his contract.
The same as Peter Salile.
Exactly. And now the issue is that other players who are coming from outside and maybe South Americans are getting
they're getting more.
They're getting more,
Yeah.
and them and if you look at Sailor, these things, remember, everyone is talking. He's one of the best right backs in Africa, but it is not translating
to the money.
to the money.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you still have got guys like Esque Sanders who are earning a lot of money, and they have not touched a single ball. So that will create a problem because players talk on the corners when they are alone there.
exactly,
Say, hey, Lom Chitalo, he's taking everything, but he's not doing anything.
exactly, and I mean Sailor. I mean, you look
Top
at
player.
yes, but I don't feel staying away is a solution. But if
He's going about it the wrong way. You still need to, obviously you train and then you allow the agent, obviously you give your agent a mandate to represent you properly, engage the club. You don't want another selling situation.
yes,
It will be very bad because you must remember if he's not playing, Bafana are going to suffer.
yeah, but also maybe the agent should not allow something like that to happen. But at the same time, is it a case of feeling that okay, to be listened to. This is what needs to happen. But also, I just feel that a top Bafana player should not be going through something like this.
Sure.
You know, if you value someone, you don't let a situation get into this.
No, it's true. Yeah. I think I hope they find it somewhere to solve it. If he has missed a serious part of their preseason, that's going to be a problem. When he comes back, what kind of conditioning is he in? They were working there preseason.
Because I saw him when they started, you know.
Maybe they were still talking.
Yeah. But no, I just feel that because Sailorman is a top player and the top human being as well.
Yeah.
You know, I see he's linked with North African teams. But I just feel that no.
That's a problem for the Super Eagles. Next month. So we are right back. Wing, we are coming through there.
No. Sailor, we need you, boy. September is around the corner, Sailor.
After September, after Nigerian game, you can come back.
Yeah, no. Because
we need everything now to qualify to the World Cup. We need the 3 points.
Is Lodge? I've not seen pictures of Lodge.
No, he's also not there. So they need to sort out Lodge issue. They need to sort out Sailor issue. They need to deal with finalize the issue of Lucas Ribeiro. Peter Shalile also, they can say they have got time because Peter Shalile, I don't think, he's not that type of a person.
Yes.
He's a professional guy. I'm not saying the other guys are not professional.
Yeah.
People must not misunderstand me. But just that's the nature of the guy. He's there, he's working, you can see the pictures they released, he's smiling, he's part of the team. But there's an issue there also.
There's an issue there, man.
And I
I don't know what's happening. I think there's a lot happening behind the scenes, but look, I think by this weekend we'll know.
Yeah.
We'll know, and Sundowns has never been a team that is too secretive around these things. They are open in terms of communicating and also, So let's finalize, guys, and I think, no. I think you're going to sit this one out. Are you going to sit this one out, the predictions for the weekend?
Nah. All I know is TS Glass is winning, so the rest I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, so the season, if it's not interdicted, excitement, MTN8, the new season starting this weekend.
Yeah, it's good. We've been waiting for a while now. We're back, and we've just been talking about Sundowns now. I'm also looking at Pirates.
Yes. I think everyone is looking forward to see this Pirates team.
To see how they shape up. The one thing that intrigues me about Pirates, I don't know what they're gonna do with Maswanganyi and Sipombule in the same team. I really want to see.
Can I add?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Can I add? Can I add, Zozo?
Yeah.
You are just talking about Masangani and Bule.
Yeah.
Add another name there. There's a Mariko.
There's a Mariko, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. In fact,
interesting.
he is going to sit one of them on the bench.
Very good.
Yes. You know?
And I can tell you, he's going to sit Maswanganyi out on the bench.
Masangani, ne? Because Mbule, a fit Mbule, a focused Mbule starts without a doubt.
That's Sundowns they used to call the rivalry system. Mbule is going to be the parent system.
And also, if you look at this Mariko, he's got numbers. And when you play in that position, you need someone who's got numbers. Sure. If you're not assisting, you are scoring. But also, I think this is the depth that you need.
For Champions League.
Yeah, and even the league, even the league.
In the league,
you start with the MTN8, their first game, I mean, they need to show that, okay, we are Pirates, we really mean business, and every other team, because they are going to be the first team to play. Every other team's eyes going to be on them to see which Pirate team is coming out, So, I feel, and they're playing at home again. They want to make sure that they put fears to other teams. So I just feel like it's gonna be whoever is gonna be in that starting 11 must make sure you take that opportunity.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got Skukune and TS Galaxy, who have not heard much from TS Galaxy. They are cooking, but Skukune has been out there.
They say they're cooking.
They say they're cooking.
And they're cooking a goosey soup.
In my pencil's language, I say kuskate singafika. 6 p.m. Saturday. Hey, Peter Mukaba Stadium. That's where it's all happening.
That's Kukuna. I also don't know. They've signed a lot of players, man. I really don't know. How do you finish 4th and you sign 20 players, whatever?
Yeah, it's
too much, eh?
At some stage, I was agreeing with some of their signings, but there are other signings that I am not sure. Yeah, but like, okay, let me see.
Because if you finish 4th, you just need to consolidate here and there. Surely these things were working. You don't have to go ballistic and sign everybody, and they're not releasing much. How many players do they have, these guys? And they're not even on the continent. I don't understand.
Yeah, they're not in the Cape Confed, eh?
No.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll see how.
Let's see, because I think especially in the last week, there's some signings that like
that's too much.
Not again. But okay, let's see. And you have Stellenbosch, and I think for me, Stellenbosch. It's a matter of continuity there, and I think with Stellenbosch, before they even released Basadien, they signed a left back, and then this is where you see here that, and I think this is one important part that, in as much as you are selling,
you have to think ahead.
Your boss was saying this the other time that even when you are selling, but make sure
you
that
have replacement.
You have a replacement ready.
Like typically TS Galaxy, I mean, we have to, the team have to sell, for the team to survive, because we produce young players, to send for the bigger teams. But already, you always have players that are coming in to fit into that position.
Like when Pirates sold Ngota. Kamu was already, the deal was done already.
Yeah, true.
Coach, let me tell you something about Stellenbosch. Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns must start saving money to buy that striker from Milford, who was the top goal scorer in the NFT.
Very good striker.
Oh yes. And
20 million or more. That's what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Now it talks to scouting.
Scouting.
You must go look with the NFT.
Yeah, true.
And also
it's a top striker.
And also about the model.
Yeah.
A club remaining true to its model and having ways of maintaining that model.
Yeah, true.
Coach Steve Bagger speak very well of that boy. They've been checking him.
Yeah. I think we've had a lot to say about Sundowns, but one of the teams that impressed me last week when I was watching them was Richards Bay. I was watching the Premier Cup, the KZN Premier Cup, and I think for me, Coach Gavin Hunt, in one of the interviews down there in Devon, he did say that people are sleeping on the talent in the National First Division Mutsipe Foundation Championship.
They are.
The talent in that division.
You just need to go to one NFD match and look in the stands there. There's not even a single club there.
True.
That's why I called them sleepy earlier on. You must wake up.
Yeah. True.
Because I was looking at this boy, Siyabonga Nzama. I think he was at Milford. And I recall, so I've seen this player playing for Milford against Kaizer Chiefs here at FNB Stadium. Wow. The boy, with the left foot, when he's got the ball, no. You are going to foul him. You are going to foul him, and it's a penalty. And that's exactly what happened against Devon City. Yeah. They fouled him towards the end, penalty.
Yeah,
that's it.
They won the game.
For some of the bigger, big teams, so-called big teams, they always wait for ready-made player, so they don't have that patience for them to say, okay, we go to NFD, we see, okay, in 1 year time, this guy's going to be top striker. So they want other team to get that player. Now they're spending the big money. That's why they are big teams. The teams like Pirate Chiefs and Sundowns.
No, don't say that about Pirates, because the way they monitor talent.
Yeah, but at the same time, they do buy a player that's established in other teams.
Yeah,
Pirates do that too.
No, they do. But they also
have their own.
They've got their scouting network.
They do have their own.
They've got their scouting network, and I know Sundowns used to do that.
Yeah.
There was a stage where Sundowns during the time of when the scouting team was headed by the likes of Walter Stenborg,
Ezra Mnyandoro.
Ezra Mnyandoro, even during the time of Trot Muloto, you know, they would have this NFD approach, you know. But I think maybe now, okay, they've advanced in terms of how they're doing things. They use too much data these days and transfer room. you know. But for me, if you are a club with not a lot of resources, if you don't have a plan for scouting NFD and scouting ABC Mutsipe, so when I was watching our Chen team playing against Angola, 2 players from Gomora were there. And you wouldn't tell the difference that these players were playing ABC Mutsepe. They are on the pitch with premiership teams. You know? So, and that's why I'm also waiting to see what I saw from Richards Bay and how they're going to play against Sundowns this weekend. But I think
Richards Bay also maybe the issue may just be continuity and sustainability and of the project.
Of a project,
they may not be able to sustain it, but when they've got 1-2 good players there, it's good for them.
It's good. So yeah, next week. So Zizo,
we are not congratulating anymore. Now we are done.
No.
Yeah.
To finish, we need to finish
Pirates,
with congratulations.
Pirates, who's winning?
Yeah, I think Pirates will win.
Okay.
Yeah.
TS Galaxy and Skukune.
How was it that lady?
Who's winning?
I'll go with TS Galaxy.
Bravo, boss.
Amazulu Stellenbosch.
Stellenbosch.
Aha, Sundowns, Richards Bay.
Sundowns will finish that.
Okay. On that note,
Jambo Africa.
And still, the champion.
Asante sana.